Welcome to Go Gettas Podcast, a podcast about we haven't quite decided yet, but we're going to keep doing it anyway. I'm Colby.
I'm an air freshener full of farts, but you can call me Fee.
Did the air freshener start off with the farts in it, or did it accumulate them over time?
I'll never tell.
Okay, so I guess that depends on, I don't know, because I was thinking,
Okay.
well, you wouldn't make an air freshener that just smells like farts, but I don't know, perverts are out there, so maybe.
It's gamer girl air fucking farts.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh no. Well, okay, so you say they wouldn't make an air freshener full of farts. That's a lie. There's a woman selling jarred farts.
Well, yeah, but that's like, again, that's for perverts. It's different. That's not people being like, I want my car to smell like farts. I enjoy the fart smell.
Oh, like, how do you know? Like, okay, I don't want to get into that. But listen, I'm just saying, like, when I was younger at a parade, they sell a bunch of like joke stuff, and,
Yeah.
at the Bucktaste parade. I once bought a can of like fart spray.
Yeah.
To spray like in places and be like, oh, someone farted.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could be a thing.
No, yeah, I mean, it's either a prank or like it accumulated the farts over time, or it's for perverts. Those are the three options. There's not another one.
On the can, it's like, oh, it's a spray for a prank, and on the other side, it's like, but it fulfills your sexual desires as well.
Yeah, or it's this, what a funny joke spray, and then if you turn it on the bottom, it goes, or for perverts too. Ah, shit! Want the pervert spray again? Damn it!
God, I just wanted the regular one. Like, what would you even call? You can't just call it like fart spray.
Yeah, you can call it farts, but you'd be like fart spray. But you gotta, I would think you have to distinguish whether or not this is a joke or if it's for perverts. Like,
okay, well, like, so are there? Obviously the perverts will buy both. Like if they've just bought like autumn breaking wind, and like they ran out, so you got to buy like just the off brand, which is joke fart spray.
yeah. I mean, I feel like you have to, in the title of the product, distinguish. You got to be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like Jamie's fart spray for perverts, or Jamie's fart spray for pranksters and hooligans. It's the same thing. It's just one of them costs more. Costs a lot more.
One of them's less embarrassing.
Yes, exactly.
They're
both sold in Spencer's though, and they're like right next to each other. It's really embarrassing to get them mixed up.
Yeah, the people buying the joke spray are just like, oh, I'm just buying this for a joke, Haha.
It's just a ha hee hee. Jokes.
It's not for my house or car.
Jokes, right? Yeah. This isn't for my pillow at night.
Oh my god. I just know that fucking perverts are doing that.
Yeah.
They get the fart spray, and they like put it on their pillow, and they're like, oh fuck yeah. And like as they sleep, and they're just like, oh, it's like having a real like woman's ass in my face as I sleep. and
Which I have paid for numerous times. Much more expensive than this spray, though. Christ almighty.
And then they have to do the same thing with like gamer girl bathwater. Like they give it a little spritz on their pillow.
Sure.
And they're like, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, right after a nice shower with my favorite gamer.
I hate perverts.
Man,
I've hated a lot of like, I don't hate perverts. Let's get that. I don't hate like people who like have kinks or something. I hate like very verbal and loud perverts who don't care who's listening, and like will just say their gross weird kinks for everyone to hear, and they're like, I'm not ashamed. I don't give a shit if you're not ashamed. It's embarrassing.
You should be ashamed. Listen, this is not a kink shaming podcast.
Look,
but you shouldn't not be ashamed of your kinks. Like, Like, sir, this is a McDonald's. Please, not here.
That okay, so like this meme I saw, right, where it's it's like anything can be art, except for what Bobby drew, and he drew pregnant Vegeta. What Bobby drew is an atrocity.
God,
like I don't care. Whatever your fetish is, whatever your kink is, it's fine as long as it's legal.
Yeah, and as long as you're not in a mall loudly screaming about how good pregnant Vegeta makes you feel inside.
Yeah, like as long as like we're not in line with each other at an HEB and you're like, I bought this canned farts for my fart fetish. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm too far in the line to move.
They lean over. They lean over and are like, "Hey, they didn't have a barcode on this like bad smelling fart spray that makes my pee pee go hard. Do you think they'll just give it to me for free?" And you're like, "Fucking kill me, please."
They do the whole, I guess it's free then.
The cashier's like, "Yes, please leave. Leave now.
Later, just go.
Just go.
Why do we carry this?" And the manager's just a secret fucking pervert.
God.
I would hate HEB if they carried that.
Everybody boycott.
I wouldn't be proud of HEB anymore.
It's true. One of my ex-girlfriends, her sister is like, "Oh, turns out that like we're moving down to Corpus." And like, I don't think she's ever lived in Texas before. So I was like, "Hey, congratulations. HEB is your grocery store." Good stuff. You're going to be very pleased about that. Also, sorry that the area that you're moving to does low-key suck ass. Here are the good parts, though.
Wait, like, give me a general area without, like, fucking doxing them.
There's not a general area. It literally just said Corpus. It could be, I don't think they've settled down in a place or anything yet.
Oh, I was gonna like, well, if they live near the HEB Plus, kudos, because HEB Plus fucking rocks.
Yeah, HEB Plus is a good one. I left, if I'm not mistaken, a 3,000 character reply, because I was like, "Hey, let me know if you need any Corpus tips," and she was like, "Yeah, let me know," and I just went through and was like, "Century 16 is the good movie theater, and fucking La Palmera's that's the good mall. It used to be called Padre Staples Mall. Don't go to Sunrise Mall unless you need something very weird and specific."
Go anywhere, just don't leave your house.
Yeah, don't leave. Actually, I also, it included some lines, because like I Googled Corpus and like looked around on the map, and I included some lines like, they've got go-karts and laser tag now, so that's sick. Because that was not a thing when we were growing up.
No, we've always had we've had go-karts in Corpus.
Yeah, go-karts, but not laser tag.
Okay, not laser tag, but go-karts, yes.
Yes. To be fair, the go-karts that we did have were also like half dangerous, half like really dangerous.
Okay, well, so what's the fucking go-kart place in Corpus called? Shit, it's gonna piss me off because I know what it is.
I'm googling. Is it Fun Trackers? Yeah,
Fun Trackers. Yeah, that's the one that's been like they've just been doing a lot of new stuff to it, so that's pretty cool. And but it used to be under the bridge where they haven't torn down that racetrack. It's still there.
Yeah,
just fucking abandoned.
It's so funny because the bridge like to Corpus, the harbor bridge, is like this like big massive like metal bridge, feat of engineering. Everything around it is dog shit though. It's wild that like you're like, oh yeah, look, the bridge is all lit up at night, and then like if you try to go under or near the bridge, it's like this is like a desolate area where like they could
be here at night.
They could reasonably shoot a post-apocalyptic movie there and have to do zero set dressing.
on one side. On the other side, you got Heritage Park.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, on the other side, pretty nice, huh? Harbor Playhouse, pretty cool.
The American Bank Center.
Oh, neat. And then yeah, I guess also on the other side, it's the same way where it's like if you're on the like east side, not good. If you're on the west side, aquarium. Like, oh, cool.
Hell yeah. And they got the tea heads. Well, that's a little further down, but the aquarium. But on the other side, it's just abandoned building and construction.
Yeah. It's like okay, if you wanted to have a really good time and you were like in to having like a 30% danger, that's where you go. Like you could probably break into any amount of warehouses and find any amount of people to have fun with, but like not great.
Dangerous fun.
Yes, the dangerous fun. You know the kind.
Yeah, because like okay, so on the one side, Heritage Park, like right across, you have I think what's it called? Like a juvie, like a small juvie.
Yeah,
is right across from there. Some of the cops is across. Oh, and do concerts still happen at that concert
at Concrete Street?
Concrete Street, yeah. I'm sure there is, but it's not a fun venue.
Yeah, Concrete Street is about as far as you want to go on that side. Like if you hit Concrete Street, even like 16 to 17 feet beyond that, like just don't go. Don't go. In fact, once you get to Concrete Street, go inside the venue immediately. Immediately. Don't stop. Don't wait. Just go.
I can't stress enough not to be under the bridge at night by yourself.
No.
Not to mention that like a lot of at the I think not the American Bank Center, maybe the American Bank Center. The American Bank Center at night, a lot of the street racers like gather in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And that's where like they chill before they race.
Which like that's a sick vibe.
Yeah.
But also that also should tell you like, yeah, near under the bridge at night, not a typical cop hangout spot.
not particularly safe, but we don't bother them, they don't bother us, baby.
Not very coppy, if you will. I gave a number of other tips around the area, including but not limited to: do not drink the tap water in Sinton, Texas. It's well water, and the residents have drank so much of it they've been Stockholm syndromed into thinking it's good, but it's not.
It is the worst water I've ever had the unprivilege of having.
So, fun fact: when I went up to Texas Tech, the tap water up there is like famously bad. It's so like someone told me this, and I can't verify that this is true. But they said, yeah, there was this experiment that they were doing here at the college where instead of using like cow manure to fertilize stuff, they were like, well, we've got a bunch of like human manure. Why don't we just use that? And so they were trying an experiment. They were like, let's fertilize with it. And it worked. The thing is that human poop doesn't break down in the soil until like way lower in the soil than cow fertilizer would. So like it doesn't break down before it gets to the water table, which is why the water in Lubbock tastes like poop. And Sinton water is worse than that. So like that's what I have for you. I fully believed that this is like poop water up in Lubbock. Sinton water worse, actually.
It's it's not bad for you. It just tastes awful.
It does.
It's just like I had a girlfriend that lived in Sinton, and I lived in Sinton for a while, and I hated drinking the water there. I hated showering there, but I had to because I lived in Sinton.
Yep.
And I regret it.
And every day I would wake up and be like, Sinton.
Like I'm not even gonna say Sinton's a bad place, but it kind of is. Not bad as in like bad people. It's just it sucks like more than Taft.
Man. So like that's okay. So Taft is a very, very small town, but like Sinton's like weirdly bigger. Like it's got an HEB, not a good one, but it does have one. And they've got like a lot of the stuff that you would probably want without having to like necessarily leave. So they kind of look down on Taft as like, oh, they've just got the Whataburger and the Lowe's Food Mart. Oh, disgusting. But the thing is, we're close enough to Portland that we can just go there, and Portland is infinitely better than Sinton. So like,
God, yeah.
And also, we don't have to drink that shitty water. So I'm just saying.
And Portland's getting a Target soon.
Hell yeah! And, is it going to be where the Kmart was?
Yeah, baby.
This is the narrowcastest podcast of all time. Like, this is people that are listening to this are either from where we grew up or they've stopped listening. They're like, I cannot give a shit about your new Target.
Listen, I'm painting a picture of why I'm excited. We're gonna get to the good stuff. You just gotta get to the R stuff.
Yeah,
first.
Listen, this is the toll section of the podcast. You have to play. Or pay this in order to play later.
Yeah, look, we started off with some good jokes and with some good like fart based humor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pee pee poo poo fart. It's always funny.
Yep.
And then you gotta listen to us for like 5 minutes. Grandstand our town and shit on others.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Fee.
Listen, I know what the damn deal is. Why don't you?
Yeah, you know what? Here, let's run down the list right now. Bishop, fuck Bishop. There you go. How about that?
Hell yeah.
Bishop, Texas, eat my balls.
Woohoo. Odom, Texas? Ooh, I fucking hate it. Wipe my ass with it.
Ooh, Falfurious? Oh, man. Tickle my taint just a little bit, you shitty ass town. How about that? Woohoo!
Shit. Let's...
Just for no reason, every town in South Texas is like, oh.
I go. Hold on. Next podcast, I'm gonna come back with the list of Texas towns I hate besides my own.
Yeah, listen, our town can't be on there.
It's not on there. It's number 1 for best town.
Yeah, and it's the friendliest cotton picking town in Texas. Says so on the sign.
And signs never lie.
No, it's illegal to put a lie on a sign.
You think someone would just do that? Going on a sign and lie?
Just lie?
Like, it's so weird though, because like growing up in Taft, everyone shit on Taft, but nothing's wrong with it besides the gang violence. But like after that, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Nothing's wrong with it except for the gang violence. Christ almighty.
Like it's really toned down, let me tell you. But yes. Enough about our town. We love it to death, and it's always in my heart, no matter what. So, what?
Christ, just it's always in my heart. I'm always thinking about you, baby.
Fucking that quote from Kingdom Hearts says it all. Thinking of you wherever I am.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
exactly.
I love Kingdom Hearts. Speaking of Kingdom Hearts, guess
Kingdom
what?
Hearts. What?
Square Enix still putting out games that look pretty as fuck. Actually,
fuck, that was a good ass fucking. What's it called?
A trailer?
No, the trailer.
Yes, it is called a trailer fee. Yeah, so Final Fantasy 16 is a game that is coming out at some point, and they put out the second trailer for it. It's called Ambition. And if Square Enix has done something right, they are at the top of every video game maker on the entire planet. They are at the top of doing particle effects and doing lights well. Their lighting is...
And the sweat, dude. Like, you could see just people sweating in blood.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the first time in a Final Fantasy where I've just seen gore to that, I guess, degree.
Yeah.
We've seen people getting stabbed, but like this dude getting his head cut off and blood spray on the kid.
Yeah.
That took me back. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, shit's getting real.
Like, yeah. It's like, so Final Fantasy has just been one of these series where it's like, God, my father has died and now I need to take up the throne. Like, Final Fantasy 15 was such a... how do I put this? It's like it's such a shonen. Like nothing bad happens, and the things that are bad happen to like the main character, but they're gonna persevere, and they're surrounded by friends, and like all of that works for Kingdom Hearts, because Kingdom Hearts is a game that's like intended for children.
Yeah.
Whereas this trailer for Final Fantasy 16 straight up was like, hey, I'm going to murder this man. Bam, get some blood on your face, nerd kid. This kid's like, what the fuck? It's great.
And now we're going to fucking kill you.
Yeah.
But like, so Final Fantasy 15, if you know the genre of anime called like cute girls doing cute things, Final Fantasy 15 is cute boys doing cute things,
yes.
I guess. That's not what Final Fantasy 16 is.
No. Final Fantasy 16 legitimately looks like if they tried to make a Game of Thrones video game. Like, yeah, it's like
it is straight up like a dark fantasy with like massive implications of murder, backstabbing, and like people killing people and genocide.
Yeah, there's like. The whole thing, what it seems like they're going for is like the world is dying. They're all trying to like vie to have like a kingdom that rules all kingdoms. They're all competing for the quote unquote Iron Throne, right? Like they're competing for that. But like every country, every kingdom has at least one icon, which is like the summons. This is like how summons manifest in this game is like
summons are eidolons.
Yeah, but they're called icons, I believe. But yes,
yeah, they're called icons.
But
I'm just giving examples.
Yeah, eidolons, fucking summons, whatever you want to call it, guardian forces. Who cares? That's how they're doing it in this game. And this is like, oh yeah, this kingdom's got the Atlas one. This kingdom's got Ifrit. This one's got Rabu.
Titan.
Name it Carbuncle. Shit, that kingdom sucks.
Carbuncle. It's a bunch of like small children farming.
Yeah. Yeah. If Final Fantasy 16 was Tolkien, Carbuncle would be from the Shire.
That's a Hobbit. That's a fucking Hobbit icon.
But yeah, like. This seems like all these kingdoms are fighting against each other. They're talking about the crystals as like a source of power, but the crystals aren't working anymore. And so like, this really does seem like a bunch of desperate ass people that are trying to like live. And it seems like shit's going to get dark, which is great.
Dude, it looks like all the icons are like at the peak of their mental fucking health because like they know they're being used. And like, I guess being like turning into their icons takes a toll on their body because I think like it's breaking down their body, right? Is that what the trailer?
Yeah, I think so.
said?
Yeah.
So like they're like in mental anguish, but also they're trying to save their kingdom.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fucking wicked.
Yeah, it's like how do you balance it? Like what do you do about it?
And of course, I guess the pro tag, the icon for his side is Phoenix, but you're not playing as the boy who controls Phoenix, I guess, until the icon fights, because you will be controlling Phoenix to fight. But you're mainly the guy with the sword.
Yeah. What's it? Is his name Claude?
I don't remember, but he has a wolf.
Yeah.
A wolf buddy.
And like it really does seem like they're like leaning sort of really heavily into this like dark fantasy. They're like, the Badlands or whatever. The Deadlands are all dead. Their life has been sucked from them. There are no birds or trees here.
God. Yeah, the big guy.
Clive, that's his name. Clive.
Yeah, Clive Barker. He's the main protagonist. He's the guy with the sword, and he is your main character. And the Phoenix is the little boy.
Yep, and that's his little brother.
It is.
Yeah, so
I thought he was like his knight.
No, like I'm reading, like, I didn't know that they released any of this detail, but it says that, he's the main protagonist. He's the Archduke of Rosaria's elder son and Joshua's brother, and he's also the dominant of the dark icon Ifrit.
Ooh. I didn't know that they had released. They probably updated the Final Fantasy website.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah. So
So
and what it seems like is there's kind of some shenaniganry going on here. So like the first born is basically supposed to inherit the Eikon power, but he
yeah.
didn't inherit the he
Oh
didn't inherit Phoenix from his dad. He
yeah.
instead got Ifrit, I guess, whereas like his little brother got Phoenix.
Phoenix.
And so now he has to protect his little brother.
I don't know. Like I smell some bad guy shenanigans.
Yep, same. I'm fucking pumped. This seems like it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, we were talking about it before the show started. We're
Mm-hmm.
like, but like, what if the trailer is just fucking badass and it shows all the good parts,
Yeah.
but like it comes out and it's just a shitty game.
Yeah, it's just yeah, it's Final Fantasy like it's like a Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Like that's the gameplay, that's the level that we're like expecting here, and then but then every Icon fight amazing. It's like
Yeah,
it only lasts 5 minutes, but it's like the best game.
it's it's like 30-40 hours, but only 20 of those minutes are good.
Mm-hmm.
Just and that's every boss fight in the game. So
That would be sick.
and then like the main bad guy, he kind of looks like, well, the silhouette when they show all the icons on that book looks kind of like Safer Sephiroth,
Yeah.
but also kind of like what's his name? Clown guy from Final Fantasy 16 when he becomes like the god.
Are you talking? You mean Final Fantasy 6? You mean
Yeah, that's
Kefka?
what
You said
yeah,
Final
Kefka.
Fantasy 16. Don't lie to our audience. There's a
No,
recording of this feed.
no, I didn't. No, I didn't.
No, I didn't. No, don't rewind. Don't rewind.
Don't ever rewind.
Edit this
but
out.
always, please, editor. We don't got one of those.
It's me.
Uh,
It's me. I'm the editor.
okay. You'll keep it in. But yeah, it kind of looks like something I've never seen. I was talking with my boss at work. He was like, you think that they haven't showed Bahamut, but that girl that you see fighting with wings, I was like, is that Bahamut? Because
They definitely
she has like
she
has like a dragon like appearance.
Yeah, there is a Bahamut fight. The second time that I watch it, basically they have icon fights where it looks like they've got like fighting game HP bars on top, and I saw one of them say Bahamut, so for sure Bahamut is in this. I don't know who it is though.
Yeah, I'm saying it's that girl. It has to be because like she has dragon like appearance and wings.
And
I
you know
also
what? That's it. That's good enough.
that's
for me.
all you need. That's yeah. I mean, I just mark my words. I'll be right.
I believe
Mark
you.
them. I think because it's like a kingdom based Final Fantasy, like in the fantasy, I hope to see Alexander.
That would be kind of nice.
Fucking sick. He's a giant castle with missiles.
Yeah, so. And depending on like the manifestation, because in Final Fantasy IX, he was just a giant pair of wings. That was it.
No, he was a castle. He would open the wings and it'd be a big castle.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's the Castle of Alexandria, though.
Yeah. So, but I mean, that's what he was based on. So,
just man,
big castle.
What a weird summon. Like all the other ones are like anthropomorphic, like it's either animals or people, and they're like doing stuff. This one's like, hey, what if castle? What if big castle?
Well, what about what's his name? Is it Ark where it's just a big fucking
spaceship?
Airship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ark is fucking weird. Yeah. Ark is a weird one. Doom Train is weird just because it is just a train.
With the face.
Yeah, it's a big spooky face. Which, by the way, if I could be the dominant of the Eikon Doom Train, I fucking would.
Oh man, if I was I guess if I was the dominant of an icon, what would I be? Fucking, I don't know.
You got to think of a good one. It's got Chocomog.
That's not a good one.
I'm just saying. Throwing him out there.
I'd say Bahamut, but I'm sure Odin, but I'm sure that's taken.
Maybe what about Bahamut Zero?
Yeah. Ooh. I still say Atamos because we have similar tastes. He likes to eat things. I do. I like to eat stuff.
That's it. I was
That's
waiting
it.
for more.
Well, well, he's like a wind. He's a wind summon. Like he sucks stuff up in a hurricane in his fucking Kirby vacuum body and spits it back out. And that one scene in Final Fantasy IX is fucking wicked.
Yeah, true. Still though.
So
Still though. Pretty wild. Pretty wild that you're like, I don't know, he likes to eat stuff. I like to eat stuff good enough.
well, like, so you said you'd be Doom Train. That's a good one. I can't be the Brothers Guardian Force.
Ooh.
There's two of them.
That is true. That it's hard to be two things at once. I've tried.
I've tried to split asexually,
and it just no matter how hard I focus on it, it just won't happen.
But yeah, like there's tons of Guardian Forces, but like of course you have Ifrit, Shiva, Bahamut, Titan, let's see, Ramu, or Rama if you want to fucking be a pronunciation Nazi.
Rama.
Rama. The way I say names in Final Fantasy is how I pronounce them as a kid.
Yeah.
And saying them like the correct way is wrong. Like I don't know if it was you that used to call Yuffie Yuffie.
Yeah.
And
Yuffie
fucking,
and Tifa.
Ugh. I always pronounced it Yuffie and Tifa. I never pronounced it any other way.
Yeah, well, congratulations for pronouncing it correctly, but I'm just saying, Yuffie, bitch, that's Yuffie. That's how you pronounce that.
Well, that's a stupid way to pronounce it. But also, let's see, there was I always pronounced it Ramu, not Rama, because Rama sounds stupid.
Ramuh to me spells Ramu.
Ramu. And Bahamut, people are like, oh, it's Bahamut.
Bahamut. Bahamut. Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, I'm like, fucking what? I'm like, you living in a fucking a fantasy village? What the fuck? It's Bahamut. Rolls off the tongue. It's good.
Yeah, sounds great.
And I think me and you both agree Titus is Titus, not fucking Titus.
Yes, because surprise everyone, TIDUS was already a name. So like,
yeah,
what am I supposed to do? I can't. There was a whole ass TV show called Titus that I watched when I was a child. Am I supposed to ignore that?
Yes. And they're like, and it makes sense because Titus, the game had a lot to do with water. No, it's fucking Titus.
Jeez.
Go to fucking hell.
Go to your room.
I hate that. I hate when I play booted up Kingdom Hearts 1 and they're like, hey, me and Titus are gonna search on the island. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, well, to be fair, and then they fucking called Squall Leon. Hart like, for no goddamn reason. It's like, why? Why did you do that? And they're like, oh.
Changed. And then they gave him long hair.
Yeah, which, to be fair, looked pretty good. Kind of into it.
Had a good mullet going. Loved it.
Yeah, I'm totally into that look. I would, I'd fuck with that. That's good. But like, just keep the name. Why change the name?
Yeah, wasn't he like, I grew as a person, so I'm not Squall anymore.
Yeah.
I'm Leon.
Yeah, you know what? Canonically, I still don't understand the ending of Final Fantasy VIII, so I'm kind of distancing myself from that. Leon, that's my name.
To be fair, he looked very different than in Final Fantasy VIII.
He did.
But I still know who he was.
Yeah, of course.
Like I don't know why. Like when I saw him, I was like, "That's Squall."
Yeah,
kinda.
You're like, that's definitely Squall, and they're like, nah.
And they're like, I love Kingdom Hearts, especially like Aerith when she came out. I was like, she's dead. I guess not. Just like they live in a world before Final Fantasy VII, I guess, but not really.
Yeah,
because Cloud don't rest in that game.
Yeah, Cloud is just. I like that every depiction of Cloud up until Final Fantasy VII Remake was like, oh yeah, you remember Cloud? He's depressed and has never been happy and has never made a joke and is always sad.
Yeah, the whole game. They're like, hey, Cloud, at the golden saucer, want to play some games with me? He's just like, oh, go fuck yourself.
You're like, Jesus, dude. Like, fucking, you go back to Final Fantasy VII, and he's like cracking jokes every once in a while, and he's like interacting with characters, and you're like, hey, why can't Cloud be a goofball sometimes? And they're like, no, that goes against the spirit of how sad he is.
He's not, though. Like, he was sad sometimes in Final Fantasy VII, but not. He wasn't just born sad.
Yeah, they act like when he grew up in Nibelheim, that's the reason why no other kids liked him, is they were like, oh, don't invite the sad boy over.
He was sad because no one invited him anywhere.
Oh man!
Just fucking. He was goofy. He stole Tifa's underwear once. He's always challenging people to squat battles.
Yeah.
He's always cracking jokes about how Barrett looks in like tiny suits. It's funny. He's a funny guy.
He is. And that's one of the things that I feel was really missing. So like whenever they were like, oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII remake is going to happen, I was like, oh hell yeah, please, like this is going to be great. But also, I swear to God, if you do not let me laugh at Cloud like once in this game, I'm gonna fucking disown you. But they did say it was fine.
This boy, as he's going to fight fucking Sephiroth, what did he say? Let's mosey.
Yeah.
Fucking, hey guys, let's mosey.
All right, like, guys, what the fuck? Let's mosey.
Sid's like, what the fuck is that? He's like, we're gonna go fight for the fates of the earth, and you're gonna tell me to go mosey? You can go fuck yourself. Say something better. And he's like, I guess.
God.
I love Goofball Cloud. God. It's these kids nowadays. These kids nowadays make him depressed.
Yeah. I feel like it's because people like I whenever you have like a successful property on your hands, like something gets really big and then you're like, okay, we need to capitalize off this. The first thing that you have to do is understand, why did this get big? And unfortunately, the thing is, oftentimes but companies don't know. And so they like the writers and the creators, like they all are bringing in different ideas. They're like, oh, we made this piece of art. And like, while they're doing that, they're not like running it by like through a filter of like, oh, and fucking, we got to make sure that like this demographic is like enjoys this, or like they're not. So like some of that, especially now that happens, but like, whenever you have like a successful property on your hand, that's clearly like a vision of like somebody, it's like an artistic type thing. Final Fantasy VII being a great example, like, this revitalized the series. And you could see with the rest of the games after that, they're trying to like learn from the previous game. For Final Fantasy VIII, they were like, oh, it seems like people really liked how sort of mature Final Fantasy VII was. So we should make Final Fantasy VIII like a little more mature, a little more like realistic art style, kind of like a like a little more true to life, and like a drama, like a romance thing, because people really loved Aeris in Final Fantasy VII. So like, let's give them like a love story that they can root for. And then Final Fantasy VIII came out, and they were like, well, that did kind of what we wanted it to do, but there were still a lot of people that are complaining about like, Final Fantasy's changed. So like, let's go back to like the way that Final Fantasy used to look like on the SNES. So they came out with Final Fantasy IX, and then from that point on, they were like, okay, well now we're kind of pissing off the people who really liked the nice art style of Final Fantasy VIII, and so we'll go back to that. We'll have like a love story, right? And we'll have like a romance, and they like the machines in Final Fantasy VII, right? So we'll put those in Final Fantasy X. Okay, here's Final Fantasy. Oh God, they didn't like the voices. Okay, what if we just let's put the next one on online? Okay, the next one's gonna be an MMO. Okay, the MMO people really like this. Well, maybe we can make them like the single player games. Let's put some of this aside. Final Fantasy 12. Oh God, no one likes it. Oh shit. What do we do?
Yeah. Excuse me. 12 was really aimless for me.
Yeah.
Because like, you start off with Vaughn, the
Mhm.
main character. I not the main character, but like he is, but not.
Kind of.
No one's the main character. Like
Yeah,
arguably,
it's an ensemble.
arguably, Balthier is the main character, but not really.
Yeah, kind
Like
of.
Vaughn's just along for the ride,
Mm-hmm.
but I just didn't like it. I didn't like the combat system. They just took it from the MMO. But I hear the Zodiac Age like fixed it a lot with all the improvements they put in there. But
Mm-hmm.
I can't, in all due respect, go back and play it. Like I keep seeing it on sale, and I'm like, "Ugh, I should play it," but then I'm like, no. Like I don't want to. Yeah, yeah. But what 13? What was 13? Oh, oh God, yeah. They made Final Fantasy 7 again in 13, but with worse characters,
Yeah.
except for Zaz.
Zaz was great.
Zaz was
Um,
like everything
I will
I
defend
wanted.
Zaz to the death. Snow was fun to watch. Lightning was like they looked at Cloud and they were like, let's make female Cloud.
No, they looked at Cloud in Advent
Advent
Children.
Children. Yes. They looked at what they weren't thinking of actual Cloud. They were thinking of what they remember Cloud to be, which is how Cloud has been depicted since Advent Children, which is sad. So they said, let's make that.
Yeah, let's make a serious, sad Cloud, but like
Mm-hmm.
female. And she had like a really cool gun blade, like a machine
Yeah.
gun sword, but she is the worst character.
She had a cool design. She had like a cool purpose, but like her whole like the role that she filled in the game was like we need somebody to be kind of a dickhead. And it's like, there we go. Found her.
Yeah. Hey guys, look, she hates fucking Snow for no reason.
Yeah, and
Fucking-
Snow's like, hey, I love your sister. And she's like, go fuck yourself, stupid. Damn.
Big dumb idiot, get out of my house.
Fucking calm down, Lightning.
And then the first game with like canonical lesbians,
Yeah.
Fang and the other one,
Vanille.
Vanille.
Mhm.
And then the worst character, Hope, which no one liked because he was a whiny bitch.
Yep. Hope sucks.
And then arguably the best character in most Final Fantasy, Zaz,
Zaz.
because he actually had a good story and he was
Mhm.
funny throughout the whole thing, even though his backstory was very sad,
Yeah.
trying to save his son.
Yep.
And I liked the two gunplay style. I liked his stance.
Mhm.
I hated the combat of the whole game, though.
Yeah, I wasn't really a big fan. In fact, like, it felt like the game was. God, this is a podcast like critiquing a game that's at this point whatever
Yeah, I know.
80 years old. Like it felt like the game was gearing me toward one particular like combat style, one sort of play style for the game, which was like, okay, you're going to be going through these like very kind of like scripted like experience areas where it's like you go through, you fight these things, you can go off the path a little bit and find a treasure, and then you keep going and then you're done, and then you experience more cutscenes and you do a boss fight. Like it was like, okay, so this is like Metal Gear Solid 4. Okay, this is kind of fine. It's a little more scripted, a little less like exploratory. And then it felt like it was like pigeonholing me into that. It's like, this is how you play this game. This is how you play Final Fantasy 13. Final Fantasy 13 is this. And then about halfway through the game, they go, oh, hey, now you're in a place where you can go explore whatever you want to. And there's no real aim. And then I went, oh, well, now I don't know how to play this game because this is a different game. So I guess I'm stopping. So I did.
Yeah. I did stop around that area because, like, as I was, like, I guess grinding for a little bit, I was like, I think that's fine. And then I go to the next boss, which is like a judge, when he confronts Hope.
Yep.
And I get my shit kicked in. I was like, well, fuck this game.
Yeah. You're like, am I supposed to grind here or what?
Yeah. And I'm like, this is stupid. And like, I stopped. I never picked it up again. And the sequels either. Final Fantasy 13, 2, and 3. Because I was like, I didn't like 1 enough, and they got rid of the best character in the game. So why should I play this?
Yeah, It's so the thing is Final Fantasy 13 3 Lightning Returns. Lightning Returns was actually pretty fun. I say that I played a demo of it, and then when it like I was like, wow, this is actually really fun. Like I'll probably play this when it comes out. And then it came out, and I went, I don't really need any more of it. I'm kind of fine.
I've had enough. Fuck it. And then they even gave her a cloud costume in that game and a
Mhm.
Buster Sword. So that's pretty funny. Although I wish they would just make the main character just Zaz.
Mhm.
Just give me a Zaz fucking turn-based RPG, because that's how I want my main character. A goofy main character who knows he has something serious he has to do and only gets serious like when shit gets real.
Mhm.
But like Zaz was funny. He was like kind of cowardly, but also goofy, cracking jokes. And then like he's like, but my son, he's fucking frozen because of the cocoon or whatever,
Mhm.
whatever the goddamn story was.
Yeah,
He's like, I gotta find a reason. I gotta find a way to get him out. And he had a little chocobo in his hair.
he did. It was very cute. It was like it was very very good.
Yeah.
He's the thing that sort of saved that game from being like an absolute hate for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Because once Zaz joined the party, he never got out of my party.
yeah, same. Why would you let him leave? He's
Yeah.
like I need him in all the cutscenes.
But after that, I didn't play 14. I wasn't there for when they nuked the Earth and started it up again.
Mm-hmm.
And I played 15, but got bored in the first like 2 hours, and I dropped it. I was
Yeah.
like, this game kind of sucks.
You and I both are we're very similar in that regard, in which like yeah, I played it I played Final Fantasy 15 up until like you get on a boat, and on the boat like the Final Fantasy 15 movie Kingsglaive happens. And then they're like, yeah, so if you want to know more about this, go
Watch that.
go watch Kingsglaive. I was like, hey, but I don't wanna. And they were like,
Yeah,
all right, too bad.
you did more than me, because like I was in the first area. I did the whole beginning scene. When you're driving in a car, you run out of fuel, push it to the depot,
Mhm.
do a little bit of quests there, just kill some animals. I camped out. I made some food. I went to the restaurant. They fixed the car, and then I drove the car and wrecked it. And I was like, "Well, this game's dumb," and I stopped.
Yeah, fair enough.
And yeah, I never picked it up again. And from what I hear, it's not good. So I am never gonna play it again.
Yeah.
But 16 is a fucking is a banger, dude. The fucking it looks fucking good. It piqued my interest. It really, like, I haven't been this excited for like a Final Fantasy in a long time besides remake.
Yeah. It seems
And
like really exciting. Like this is extremely exciting for me because like
yeah.
again, this seems like it's not so much that it's not so much that it's trying to like do like a Game of Thrones type thing,
Yeah.
or trying to like return and do like
Yeah, it's
bring
not
back
like
the
a
old glory days of Final Fantasy. It's like a kind of new thing, which I'm
Yeah,
into.
it's not a return to form, but it looks like a well-crafted story
Mm-hmm.
with not even just beautiful graphics, but the gameplay looks fucking bombastic and fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited for that. And the score sounds really good. But I mean, not as good as Kingdom Hearts, but it does sound good.
Yeah. It's like I'm so excited about this that like you know that meme where people are like, "Oh, yeah, I'm ready to get hurt again." It's that. Like I'm right there where if you would have fucking like Final Fantasy 15 me, I was like, I'm never pre-ordering another Final Fantasy game. Like they have ruined my trust. They're really going to have to earn it back. And then like I saw the trailer for this and was like, "Oh, did I say that? Was that something I said, or
No.
that doesn't sound like me?"
That's never me. And then like I'm next year's the year, dude, for a lot of games.
Yeah.
Because a good segue. Silent Hill dropped a whole lot of trailers. Uh,
Yeah.
dude, the Silent Hill remake 2 is fucking sick looking. It looks so fucking good. Silent Hill 2 was a game that I really liked as a teen. Never beat it, but I got really far into it. And I think I only stopped because my PS2 broke, and then I just didn't pick it up again. I still have the game. I just never beaten it. But
Nice.
Silent Hill 2 is so fucking good, and I can't wait to play it like again with they did the Resident Evil like 2 treatment on it. Better graphics, same story, but maybe with a little bit of new things.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a lot of people shitting on it. They're like, they ruined the atmosphere. I'm like, fucking how? I'm like, it's a foggy city. Are you hating on it because the graphics are brighter? I'm like, the PS2 like made it look darker because of limitations. But this game looks like the graphics look good.
Yeah.
Like you could see the emotion in what's his name's face, and it looks like a good time.
Yeah, especially if you've played Silent Hill, this is obviously more of your favorite series is like always kind of like an exciting thing, but like the way that they've done the Resident Evil remakes is like, wow, okay, so like you really can take an old game, like an old horror game, and just like
Yeah.
update the graphics enough, and then it's like fucking great.
Yeah, and the controls.
Yes, and the controls. God, fucking, I'm so glad they did that.
Exactly. And then they released the trailer for Silent Hill F, I think that's what it's called, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that game looks fucking wicked.
Yeah.
Like it looks so scary. Like it's more of like because Silent Hill is always usually like American, like Americana,
Mm-hmm.
like a small Americana town, and this one is like not set in Japan, or it might be set in Japan, which I'm
Yeah,
like
it's set in 1960s Japan.
which I'm like, well then where's Silent Hill? Silent Hill's a town. It's just not the name of the franchise.
Yeah. So
So
this is Silent Hill F. The F is Japanese.
yeah, Silent Hill, fucking Far East.
Yeah, yeah. That's what the F stand for. It stands for Fukushima. That's where it's taking place.
Oh my god, what if that really was? Um,
It'd be sick.
there's there's a lot of cool stuff in it. Like if you have tribophobia, that's what this game is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I immediately saw it when I saw the trailer. Like just all the body parts in the water. This is not spoilers. This is just in the trailer.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of like holes in arms, and then vines grow out of it.
Yep.
And you're like, ew, ew, and you're like, I'm ready to be creeped out.
Yeah. Like, yeah, as like while the trailer goes on, you can see like more and more like vines like just growing on the walls and like reaching out to touch things, and you're like, ew, 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 ew. Why? Please stop. Ew.
I'm ready to be scared. I'm a scared boy. I clean up on L10. I love playing scary games,
Mm-hmm.
and because I had like lately, a lot of the horror games have been really scaring me and making me scared, which is something I haven't felt in a long time.
Yeah, I'm never
So,
scared. I'm very brave.
all right, Bone Crusher, calm down.
I like this whole like and number one, like I cannot tell you how good the graphics are in this. Like
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like toward the God, like you should go watch the trailer if you haven't, because like there's this part at the end where like this spoilers for the trailer, I guess, but like where this like girl has like flowers growing out of her head, and then
oh yeah,
you see like she has this just, I don't know, this kind of like story, like this look on her face where she like has a tear coming out of her eye, and their fucking face falls off.
yeah, oh yeah. She kind of looks like that zombie from The Last of Us. The what's it called? The mushroom head.
Yeah, yep, the cordyceps zombie. Yeah,
Yeah, she looks like a cordyceps. Like
yeah.
her head is like just fungus flower, and then she kind of has like an anguished smile. I think
Mm-hmm.
I could be remembering, but her face falls off, and then she grows like gross. but it looks
she becomes disgusting.
ew. But it does look good, and I'm ready to be scared, and I will stream it and play it.
Okay, so and that's not all. There's another Silent Hill game that got announced.
I heard, but isn't it like a mobile game?
Good question. No one really knows. It's called Silent Hill Townfall.
Yeah.
From a studio called No Code.
See, but the trailer didn't show anything.
No, it didn't. It's literally just like a portable TV and like some stuff, right? But so, what they said is that the it's got a secret in it, and the thing is like there's Morse code in it, which is like very easy to decode. But someone took the whole trailer and put it into a spectrum analyzer, and sure enough, in the middle of it, you can see text that says, "Whatever heart this town had has now stopped."
It's weird.
Yeah, fucking sick, dude.
I really love the internet because, like, I'm sure, like, back then, creators and stuff would, like, put these messages and, like, secret things into, like, their games and movies and shit, and it would take, like, people forever to decode it. The fucking same day, nowadays, if someone puts on the internet and they're like, I bet it'll take y'all forever to figure out what I put in this one. Yeah. And a guy, like, 2 hours later is like, oh, I figured it out. And you're like, motherfucker, what?
Yeah, hey, stop it. Okay, so like ARGs, this sort of thing is called like alternative reality game, right? Like, or I mean, you could, or whatever, internet puzzle. There's a number of names for it, but like, I've participated in 2 of them, and I cannot tell you, like, no work gets done whenever you're part of that community. Like, and by work, I mean the thing you get paid for, because you are doing a ton of work, but like, you're not doing it for the man. You're like, so the 2 that I participated in was one for Portal 2, and one was for Sombra being released in Overwatch. And so,
makes sense,
yeah. So for Portal 2, like, what happened is a couple of weeks before the game came out, they put out this like potato pack on Steam, and like, in all of these indie games that they like bundled together in this bundle, they all had a way to like find a potato, and like some of them had like GLaDOS messages and like fucking secrets in them, and so like, they were connecting not only like the stuff that was in these games and like files that you could decode and find, but like audio files that then you could turn into a fucking like you could turn those audio files into like SSTV broadcasts and then watch a video based off of the audio file. And the video showed you like a lat long, right? Like, so now we had latitude and longitude coordinates of like places around the Earth in like physical locations. And sure enough, for a couple of those, one of them in particular, somebody was like, okay, yeah, no, that's in my city here in like, I forgot where it was, like Switzerland or some shit. They're like, yeah, that's in my city. I can go there right now. And they go there and they go, you're not going to fucking believe this, but it's an office building, and in the archway to like get into the building, like there's an awning to like protect you from the rain. On top of that was a goddamn potato. So this man like climbs up onto this like structure, grabs this potato, and like it's got some codes and shit on it. So he's like, oh shit, and he like runs home. My favorite thing about that is that he comes back with this potato, and he's like, guys, this potato has like this like these codes and shit on it. Well, in the Discord server where like all this is going down, or like subreddit at the time, I think, this random user posts this video, and it turns out that the developer that had done that was sitting in a cafe across the street waiting for someone to come pick it up, and just started recording this guy whenever he showed up, and recorded him getting the potato and running home. So they just posted it like, fucking saw you get this potato. And everybody's like, I'm losing my fucking mind, dude.
That's fucking fun. That's awesome. I love that.
Amazing.
Uh, I have never done that before. Mostly because you're different. You're different when it comes to gaming. When it comes to gaming, for me, I'm all about just my experience myself,
Hmm.
and I love when the whole like community of gamers like get together and do stuff.
Hmm.
But I'm just there on the sidelines. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, fucking do it. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
waiting.
cool.
I'm like, I'm
Well,
waiting.
for me, like it's all like I get a lot of gusto and I get a lot of energy to do stuff, but I don't know how to do shit. So like
Yeah,
when people are like, "Oh yeah, I put the audio into a spectrum analyzer," I'm like, "Ah shit, I bet I could figure out how to do that, but I don't really know how to do it." And then
yeah.
like I'm,
Someone
I'm
already
like
knows how.
I'm like, I know how to program. How can I help? The one thing I helped with is during the Sombra ARG, like there were some files that you could download from a server, and all of them were like screenshots from the game that had like bits of like pixel area that were like corrupted in certain ways, and like um basically like if you put them together and did some shit to them, like you could find another secret or whatever. But they were like, I don't basically these file names have this like this character in it, and it was like a very long number, and people were like, well, if it were this many digits long, then I know how to turn that into a date. So like, there's like, so we have this like date string right here, and then these like three extra characters at the end. What can these three extra characters be? And I popped into the Discord server because it was a Discord server at the time. I popped in and was like, "Hey, just so you know, in JavaScript that date thing does have three extra characters. That's just represents the milliseconds. So like
Yeah.
there's not actually any secrets there or anything." And they were like, "Oh, good call. Yeah, good call out, man." And I was like, "Yeah, I fucking helped. Yeah."
Oh yeah, I did something.
That's
And
legitimately all I did though. Is I came in and was like, "Hey, yeah, you know how you're trying to like dig around for secrets in there? Don't. It's there's nothing." And they were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, okay."
Now let's go do something else. And you're just like, oh, hey, fuck. That's more than I'll ever do. I don't know how to fucking code. I don't know how to decrypt things. I don't.
You come in and are like, "What if we turned the picture upside down?" They're like, what?"
Have you tried looking at it through like put it towards the sun?
Yeah, hey,
And
put on some 3D glasses. What's it look like now?
but I mean the same. Well, I mean, at least I suggested
Yeah, does it
something.
look cooler or
Yeah, does it look cool now? I'm not a problem solver when it comes to like that. That's why I could never be helpful in an escape room.
yeah. It's like,
Or maybe I could.
yeah, I mean you could try.
I could try, but I don't want to. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't mind. I've never been in it. I've never been put in a situation where I've had to use all of my mental capacity. That's why I work better like alone. But I mean that's just me. I like if I have a problem, I usually solve it by myself. If
Hmm.
I'm playing a game, I usually solve it by myself unless I it's something really stupid and and I know I'm stupid and I'm not figuring it out. Then I'll go to YouTube and be like, I'm like, what's this mission? Like I did that one time for Borderlands.
Hmm.
For Borderlands the pre-sequel, I believe.
Hmm.
I was doing this mission and you had to go into like a door and you go to this area, you fight these enemies, and you have to go into this door. And the mission marker didn't stop showing up because I was already in the area. And I was like, "Where's the fucking door?" And I'm like walking all around, and I'm there, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Did it glitch?" And then I go to YouTube. I'm like, I type in the mission, and I'm like, "What the fuck am I doing wrong?" And like, it just so happens that like it was like a door on the side of like a little hill where all the enemies come out, and
Hmm.
I didn't notice it. I was standing on the hill, and it was fucking under me, and
Oh, okay.
I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm so fucking stupid, and that's what happened. So,
Man,
but
yeah, that's like Because there are times whenever you're like, I know I'm not this dumb. Like,
Yeah.
this can't be that strange, right? Like, I'm not. Come on, man. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, sure enough, it is something obvious that you're like, oh, I get, yeah, never mind. I guess I can.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
I
guess
guess.
I would have noticed that if I would have just like tried in a different way.
Yeah. Like I don't know what it was that I just didn't look down or decide to. I was in the area where the door was. I guess I just didn't turn around, or I turned around and moved to where the door was just out of my peripheral.
Mm-hmm.
So like it was just something stupid like that.
Yeah,
But usually I solve stuff on my own, or like I go online. Like I am like, I don't know if you've heard of the game Cookie Run Kingdom, but like
you have told me about it. Yes.
I've been playing this game for a year now, and
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love this game. I'm deep in the meta, and I go to like the forums and I see what everyone's talking about, and I see which of the cookies are strong, and what the meta is for the kingdom or the PvP, and like God, I play the game at least 3 times a day, which amounts to about 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I spend a lot of time playing this game, and I got a guild, and I'm really upset that they don't talk more. But yeah, like I'm like level 48, and I guess that's a high level to be in that kind of game. And I have every single cookie in the game, and I have them almost at 5 star, and they're almost every single one of my characters is max level.
Damn.
So yeah,
Damn, Fee, you're
I
fucking going for it, huh?
when I okay, so you don't know this, or maybe you do about me. When I find a mobile game that I really and truly like, because I'll try a whole bunch, and sometimes I'll play for like a few days or a week, and I'll be like, this sucks. It's not really anything. When I find something that I really like I truly love doing, I will I will continuously do it and dive deep into it. Like there's been like 3 games that I've done it for mobile. That's Cookie Run Kingdom, and I'm currently doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy Brave Exvius,
Okay.
until they kept adding a bunch of characters, and it was changing the meta, and they
Yeah.
were adding too many things at once, and I was like, oh, this is getting like really what's it called? This is just getting really crowded, and I'm not really enjoying it anymore.
Yeah.
And
I had a very similar experience with that game because I started playing it and was like, "Oh, this is kind of a cool idea." And then it dawned on me just how like massive it was going to be and I went, "Nah, never mind."
yeah, I think I was playing it for like a year or so before I was just like, man, I can't keep up with like the amount of things they're doing for it. And if I don't keep up, I just get far back, and I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
And
I was trying to keep up with Final Fantasy Record Keeper.
mm,
Can't do it. You just
like,
can't.
yeah, you just can't.
It's the same thing
And
with games like Final Fantasy or no sorry Kingdom Hearts god Dark Road, like
yeah,
the mobile Kingdom Hearts game. It's just like,
yeah,
yeah, go out and beat a bunch of Heartless. Great, now you've like done with the story. Now you gotta fight 400 more Heartless in order to level up, and then you can get one additional character and 3 lines of
uh,
dialogue. You're like, fucking okay, god.
fuck that. I was the same way with a game called Sega All Stars. It was on the mobile, and it was a match 3 fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have 4 characters in your lineup in your fight, and when you lined up the colors that they coordinated to, they would attack the enemy. So it was like you had to play fast. You had to match things fast and get big combos. And I was there from like day one. Like when they announced it, I was there, and I
Mm-hmm.
started playing since the very beginning. And I got every single character and everything that got out. I got every single character that got out. I maxed them out.
Mm-hmm.
I beat the entire story like all the way until the boss, and they never added more on regular and on hard mode. And then every day I would just play for my guild, and I would play and get points, because when you get points you can unlock different things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and I would play for I'd play the extra stuff they would add it, and then I would just play for my dailies to get like I guess diamonds, and you didn't really like need them once you got everybody.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I played that every single fucking day. Like I would wake up, play the game. Before I go to bed, I'd play the game. If I had free time during the day, I'd play the game. I've already beaten it like completely. And then one day they were like, out of the blue, they were just like, "Yeah, we have to shut down the server. That means the game is shutting down." And I was like, "Oh, what?"
Hey,
And then
hey,
they're like,
wait, go back.
"Yeah." I was like, "Why?" And I don't remember why they did, but they did. And they were like, "Yeah, so we got like a month left before the game shuts down. So we were gonna put out these characters for the next thing, and we just started doing it. So we're giving you all the characters for free, and any like money you spent recently on the game, we're refunding it back, and you could just play with all the characters just to see how they are." And I was mad.
I
I
bet.
was I was livid, dude. I was like, what the fuck? And the guild in my guild in that game was actually like we talked to each other and
Hmm.
we're all fun. And I was like, what the fuck? Oh man, I've never been so angry at a mobile game. And after that happened, I was kind of like, I didn't want to play another game. Sorry, excuse me. But this game came out, and I've been playing it since like last year, like about 3 months after it started, and it's so fucking good. I know it's like I'm fucking riding on this game's dick, but like you either like it or you don't, and that's fine. So it's a kingdom maker game where you start off with a small plot area. You could build certain things, and it's an idle game where you have to like let it idle and then give it time, and then the buildings will build, and then resources will gather, and then you just gather them, and you unlock stuff gradually. But now I have almost the entire layout unlocked,
Yeah.
and every day like I'm doing like high level things, and then you got the PvP area where you do the player versus player,
Hmm.
and then the story, and then like they have special like monthly things that you have to do. Like they have BTS that they're doing right now,
Okay.
and
Weird,
you
but
can
all
well
right.
I it's they you can get them as characters in the game. I mean, it's not my favorite band, but it's what they're doing. It's a big
Hmm.
thing. So I got all of them, and you can get BTS stuff for your kingdom, and they have BTS special missions and real special rhythm parts, and I'm all about that. I fucking love the PvP and the battle area because you got the kingdom gathering, and then you have like you get 5 cookies, and you have to strategize because they're all different classes. Like you have like the fighters, defenders, mages, healers, support, archers, and you have to make sure you take the right people into battle whenever you do
Hmm.
something, and it'll determine like for story winning the battle, because if you have a shit setup, you're gonna lose. And in PvP, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm in master rank 3, so it's just not a big deal.
No, yeah, just saying. It's fine.
I I mean, last month. I mean, but by the end of this month, I'll probably be in top 10,000, like I was last month. But no, it's not a big
Listen, hey, it's I don't like to brag, but it is very impressive.
deal. You probably don't understand how impressive it is, but it's pretty impressive. I mean, I'm not bragging.
I'm just.
But but yeah, it is a fun game. So, um, it's getting pretty late in the podcast, so let's talk about anime.
Yeah, yeah. So, as we promised, we are going to
Yeah,
be discussing Chainsaw Man every time the new episode comes out. Didn't discuss it last week. Do you know why?
I know why.
Because we recorded twice in the same week. So,
I was led astray because like when I told Colby I'm like, let's record Sunday. I meant like this today Sunday,
mhm.
and he was like, yeah. And then he texted me last Sunday and was like, you ready to record? I'm like, we're recording. And I'm like, okay, let's go for it. And we Chainsaw Man hadn't been out yet, so.
Yeah,
But the second episode did come out this week, and we did see it.
yeah.
And let me just tell you, still good, still
Still
fucking good.
great. Animation's still good.
And they introduced one of the fan favorites, fucking Power.
Yeah, baby. So they
Power.
like basically this if episode 1 was like, "Hey, here's Denji. Here's who Denji is." Episode 2 was like, "Here's who Makima is. Here's who Man with Ponytail is." I keep forgetting his name.
Yeah.
And Power as well.
Power.
Uh
She is, and they kind of explain what devils and fiends are.
mhm.
And Power is a fiend.
Correct. Yeah.
She's the blood fiend.
Yeah, so
I guess she's a devil.
Yeah, so a devil, basically a fiend is whenever a devil takes over a corpse.
Yeah, and that's what Power is.
Mm-hmm.
She is no longer the girl she used to be. She is now the blood devil, but a fiend.
Mm-hmm.
Not as powerful as the devil, but still pretty damn powerful.
Yeah. Which is great. Good for her. She's also proper crazy. And her voice actress does a really good job.
But she's fun crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really hate her. Like, I don't hate her. A lot of people hate Makima for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, not for no reason, but like because she's like, oh man. For people who haven't read the manga, I'm sorry, spoilers. She's not a bad person, just really weird.
Yeah, I mean, basically your understanding of Makima evolves over the series, and yeah, keep an eye on her.
But Power is a little bit more loose in the way she is. She kind of hates humans, and she refers to them as inferior, and like she kind of doesn't like working well with others, but she has to or she'll die. But she's really cool. She's fun.
Yeah, she's a good character. Fun to be around. The highlight. So okay. I'm gonna say my highlight from this episode, and then I want you to say your highlight from this episode.
Okay.
My highlight from this episode is Aki is Ponytail Man.
Yeah. Okay.
Aki and Denji go out to do patrol for the first time, and Aki very clearly is like, Denji, you suck. You should you're gonna die if you stay being a devil hunter. I'll just tell Makima that you ran away. Don't worry about it. He punches Denji in a fucking in an alleyway, and then he throws a lit cigarette on him and spits on him and turns around, and then Denji, my man Denji, gets up and kicks this man in the balls, and he says, "Wow, you're really nice, because when I'm in a fight with a guy, I just go for the balls." And then he kicks Aki in the balls 4 times while he's on the ground.
Like, oh, he really did just go for the balls. Like,
it's great because then Aki gets up and starts fighting him, and Denji kicks him in the balls again. It's great.
Aki on the floor, like, oh, fucking passes out.
Yeah, like you can see that it's like if you're a guy and you've ever been kicked in the balls, his face just mirrors it. You're like, oh god, I want to throw up and pass out at the same time. Oh.
Fucking the best part of that is they report back to Makima, and Denji's like, yeah, Aki got attacked by the nut devil.
Yeah, nut devil got him.
God, fuck, you took my highlight. You went first because you knew.
Hey, oh, I did. I super did. Yes.
Son of a bitch. If I had to pick a highlight, it was Denji living with Aki. They're like, you gotta live with each other now. And Denji's like, oh, I don't want to live with him. But then you just see him kind of living his dream, like what he always thought about living in a house would be like. He just puts everything on toast. He falls asleep while taking a shit. He's in the tub just wasting water and just like singing.
Yeah.
And he's just having a good time in his new room. And what's it called? I think that's it. There's something else.
The fucking toast.
Oh, yeah, the toast that's full of fucking cinnamon and was it paprika?
No, it's cinnamon.
Yeah,
It's cinnamon and every jam that this man has, all on this one piece of toast.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, that's fucking good." And if I had to choose another highlight, is when Aki takes Denji to where a fiend is in the house and all the cops are around. And Aki's like, "There's a fiend in here." And Denji's like, "The hell's a fiend?" And he's like, "Didn't you go to school? They teach you what fiends and devils are in fucking elementary." And he's like, "Nah, dog, nah."
Yeah, he goes, "Nah, dog, no." Yeah.
Aki's like,
Aki's
"Oh."
just in disbelief, like, what? Who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, he's like, "Oh." And then he gives him the explanation. He's like, "Well, fiends are like when devils take control of a human body." And they fucking kill him. And Aki's like, "Why didn't you transform?" And he's like, "That guy wasn't strong. I just had to use my axe and kill him quick." And then Aki leaves. He's like, "I didn't want to get blood on these porno magazines."
Yeah. my man Denji leads down, picks up a porn mag, and goes, "Porn acquired." Very good.
Fucking, I love Denji, and I like when he's patrolling with Power, because then Power's like, "I'm fucking bored," and like they're wandering around, and she's like, "Man, I wish something would happen." And at the very end of the episode, she's like, "Oh fuck, devil fucking acquired. I found where one is," and jumps off the building.
Yeah, I smell blood.
Yeah, and then fucking kills a sea cucumber devil, who I guess is just killed for being alive.
Yeah, for just hanging out.
Because it hasn't done anything.
It's like,
there's a guy in the telephone fucking booth that's like, "Yeah, the sea cucumber devil's here, and it's really it's really unsettling."
Yeah, it looks weird. I don't like it.
So like, and then Power just from the top of the building just destroys it. It's fucking good. End of the episode, and it's good. Another fucking good episode.
Yep. I mean, Chainsaw Man continues to be probably the anime to watch this season if you are going to watch one anime. But that doesn't mean that you should ignore all the other ones. In fact, Mob Psycho 100 Season 3 is going strong, man.
Dude, Mob Psycho in general is a really good show. And Kobe was trying to get me. He was like, "Have you seen Mob Psycho 3? Have you seen Mob Psycho 3?" And I'm like, "No, Kobe, for once I haven't fucking saw something you haven't." Yeah. And he's like, "Well, hurry." I was like, "Well, I gotta watch all of season 2 and then I'll binge season 3." So in one night I binged all of season 2 and what episodes we have of season 3. And I gotta tell you, it's fucking good.
Yeah, dog.
Like, as wonky as every character looks, the animation and the story and the characters are so fucking good. Except for Dimples, because him making that helmet guy that looks like Mob is very gross.
It's
Spoilers.
Yeah. So at the end of the most recent episode of Mob Psycho 100, there's just this like fake Mob character that is made out of like roots and shit. It's the grossest thing I've probably ever seen.
I was very unsettled watching it. I was like,
did not like.
I did not like it. I did not appreciate it, but I understand why he did it and how he did it. But yeah, no, it's gross. And the man doesn't have ears and no one questions it. And Mob's like, "I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna show everyone that I'm the helmet. I'm like Psycho Helmet or whatever they're calling it. And I'm gonna lead them on a good path because I've been under a lot of like what's it called? Exploration. And like, I don't like to rely on people. I like my friends, and I don't like to let people, tell me what to do anymore." And he's like, "I'm gonna go set these people straight." And people are starting to recognize that Mob is like a badass. Like he's like one of the best psychics, but not a lot of people recognize him. Yeah. And he's like, "I'm just gonna kind of go and lead these people onto a good path." And the motherfucker doesn't know where it's being held, misses his friend who was going to the thing, and then Dimples takes his place and is, I guess, gonna lead these people to be like bad people, and is probably gonna be the antagonist of the season.
And I mean that makes sense. Like it's cool that they're like, hey, you remember this like villain from like the middle of season 1 that like just sort of became this like sidekick pet type character. Um I like that they're combining both like the fact that there's a giant fucking broccoli in the middle of the city,
Yeah.
and also the fact that like this man still exists and is still a piece of shit. So
Well, like the whole time he's like, I'm gonna control Mob and I'm gonna make him my own. I'm gonna possess him and I'm gonna do bad things.
yeah,
Like
and
he
fucking
never
every
stopped.
time Mob is like, "Shoo, get out of here."
He never stopped being evil. He's just not strong enough to do something about it.
Yeah.
And until like in season 2, Mob comes against this ghost of a strong psychic where he actually can't beat.
Mm-hmm.
And God, it's such a just watch Mob Psycho 2. It's such a good season.
Yeah.
And the episode between 2 and 3 where they go to the hot springs on the train.
Yeah.
That's a fucking good episode.
Man, there's so many. So Mob Psycho is like one of the reasons why Mob Psycho is so good is because as much as it is like cool psychic battle or whatever, the best part about all of it is just that Mob is like growing up, and
Yeah.
he like gets more mature as the season goes on, like as the series goes on. I think my favorite moment from Mob Psycho season 2 is his mentor Reagan is like a fraud. That's the whole.
Yeah.
That's his whole thing. Is like he's a fake psychic, and he does shit like, oh Mob, I'm too powerful to kill all these. I can't even see them. They're so weak. So I'm gonna need you to take care of them.
These ghosts are beneath me.
Mm-hmm. And so like he basically gets challenged to prove that he's like actually a psychic, and he gets embarrassed on live TV, and so now everybody's like, oh, this guy's a fucking fraud, he's like whatever. And so like him and Mob have had like kind of a falling out, and then there's another press conference, and then Mob like basically uses his psychic powers to like turn off the lights and fucking make a giant earthquake happen. And Reagan's like, so like if you have like
known the whole time.
Yeah, have you known the whole time? And like Mob's like, yeah, the whole time I've known that my master is a good man. And you fucking you're like, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight because this is so sweet.
It's very sweet. And like Reagan, even Reagan at the press conference, he's very good at talking his way out of things.
Mm-hmm.
So like during the conference, they're like, well, why don't you show us like, psychic stuff? And he's like, even if I did, would you believe me?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you've already in your head called me a fraud and believe I'm a fraud. So if I did something, you probably think I was faking it. So why should I? And like then Mob does that shit. And then at the end of the episode, he's like, my master's a good guy. Like they come back together.
Yeah.
But I would say the even more sweet, kind of better thing of season 2 was when the shut-in, I forget his name, when Mob comes across him and he does not want to fight him, but the shut-in guy is having like this mental battle with himself, but the only person that was nice was the boss, and he's the only one that brought me out of my room and he gave me a job, and well, I don't want to hurt people, I don't want to do what he's doing, but he's the only one that gave me a chance, and I don't know if I can go back to like society and do all this stuff. So he's like having this inner battle, and then he decides to join the good guys at the end of season 2 and goes against the boss and protects Reagan. And then at the end, the very season finale of season 2, I guess spoilers, like Reagan's like, hey, I gave him a job, with us. And we gave him a haircut and a shave, and we're going to integrate him back into society. And he's just the nicest man. But like, it's really sad, like that he had the exact opposite of growing up that Mob did. He's very strong like Mob, but whereas he grew up alone and accidentally hurt his mom, and was shunned for being like a psychic and like would lose control like sometimes.
Yeah.
Mob had the same thing. He lost control, hurt his mom, but everyone around him was just genuinely nice. And like always reassured him, hey, it's fine, you're okay, whatever. And his brother was the same way. And then when he started going to school, he started gaining friends without telling him he was a psychic. And then he stopped being seen as just this quiet, like weird kid, and then he starts getting a lot of friends from the Body Improvement Club, the best bros in any anime,
Mm-hmm.
and then he a lot of girls start talking to him, and he's like, "Am I getting popular?" He's
Mm-hmm.
like, "Bro, am I popular?" And his brother's like, "Well, you've always been popular in my book," and Mom's like, "Oh."
God,
So like,
there's so many things like that where it's just like, and Reagan as being like a fraud is like on top of that, he's also just like genuinely a good dude who's like trying to do right by like Mob and by like the people that are depending on him, which is like
yeah,
it's sort of a dual character where he's like, oh yeah, I need to like we need to track down this bad psychic because otherwise I'm not going to get the insurance money from my burned down office. It's like, oh, okay,
yeah,
that's funny, but also he's like going to go find Mob and like rescue him from places, and like the ending of season 1 is like really get your heart too, because like Reagan finds Mob, and the Mob is like, oh my god, I've got to fight these, like I have to fight these guys in order to like get out of this place, we're in like real danger. And Reagan's like, stop, you do not have to do that, you were a child, you should let adults handle this. And fucking
yeah,
like that's the coolest shit of all time, because he's like, stop it, you can always run.
yeah,
It's just like I don't know, it's one of those things where it's like, wow, okay, like even though Mob is like very clearly the strongest person in the entire series, Reagan is still trying to look out for him because he's a child.
yeah. And the coolest thing, like the even more sweet is Reagan. He was just like, he's like, I was kind of like bored with my job before this. I didn't really think of my future, so then I started this business,
Mm-hmm.
and I was kind of getting bored with it. I figured I can get a year out of this, but then like you came in, and then like you were telling me your problems, and you showed me everything, and you kind of gave me purpose again, because you're worried about like your social standing, and like no one really hung out with you, and I kind of wanted to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
But in helping you, you really helped me see like things.
Mm-hmm.
So like you have that. Like Reagan's just, he's not a bad guy as much as he is a con artist and fucking fake shit. He does look out for other people, and
Mm-hmm.
he is a good person because he will not charge people money if they didn't like solve the thing properly, or if like let's say they have to get rid of something. He's like, well, I can't charge them, and like sometimes it'll be like, oh well, because of all the property damage, right? He was like, kinda, but I can't though.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah. It's
um
and it's like the guy who writes Mob also writes One Punch Man, and they're both very good in that they're both like
human,
typical,
very
like,
real.
yeah, they're both like typical kind of like shonen stories, but they also have a lot of like reality and a lot of like character development in it, which you're not expecting from a show like this. You're not
Yeah,
expecting from a show like One Punch Man either, but like both of them do a really good job of like, oh hey, I'm gonna sneak in some like real shit in here, and you're like, whoa, okay.
yeah, as OP and as like world ending as the main characters for both of those shows are,
Mm-hmm.
like they genuinely don't show them doing a lot of shit. They show all the other characters trying their best, and only at the end will they come in and fix stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like only like, I guess not at the last second, but like after a whole bunch of like them just doing a bunch of minor stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like one is this phenomenal writer, but he can't draw for shit. But that's okay because his stories are so fucking good. And that's why a lot of people like him. Like even before he actually put him into manga, his webcomic was so good. Mob was like fucking really good, and that's why they kept his art style. They didn't do like the One Punch Man and make everyone look really good.
Mm-hmm.
Because Mob is a show that everyone doesn't have to look super good for it to be good. It's just a good show.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that style for Mob, whereas it's different. Like I like One Punch Man. I like how they made everything look really good, but that's very much in the style of the show.
Yeah.
As But I like Mob equally. Everything kind of looks janky and funny,
Yeah.
but that's a style choice, and I really like it. I like how the animation's loose because there's characters that are moving around that's more fluidly in that show.
Yeah, it's like so One Punch Man had like the redrawn art style which looks like crazy good, like very very well done manga. But Mob Psycho kept pretty close to the original art style, like at the very least with like how the artist one starts to like draw stuff, and as a result it looks a little bit goofy, but also like I don't know, it's got this like really cool kind of charm to it, and I like to think like, so number one, all of the intros to Mob have been like the fucking best, but also I really like that for all of the intro songs, the first one was called 99, the second one is 99.9, and this one is just called 1. And I like that because to me it like they could have gone with like 100, but instead they went with 1, and I almost feel like that's like a nod to the artist because the artist name is 1. So I feel like this is almost like, hey, this is fucking right?
Yeah, we've all built up to this. And the intro for season 3 is just a fucking like an acid trip. It's really good.
Yeah.
I could be here all day and just praise the show, and One as a writer, because he's very like, I could watch if he did something other than One Punch Man and Mob, I would read it / watch it like in a heartbeat.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we can't sit here all day, and we're already at time.
True.
So why don't you take us through the outro, Colby? Tell them where they can find us and what they can do with themselves.
Woo. Get a little spicy. You can find us on basically every platform. We live stream our podcast live on Twitch. So if you follow us on Twitch, set your notification when we go live. We will be recording the podcast live. We do it probably at least once a week. So go and do that. You can also listen to it whenever it comes out regularly on basically any podcatcher, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, basically any podcatcher platform. And we will have the stream replay show up on YouTube the same time that the podcast does. So
go follow us.
Go follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, follow us on TikTok, follow us on any platform that we're on. We're under Go Gettas Pod. On Twitch, and probably Go Gettas Pod on Twitter, and probably Go Gettas Pod in other places. So go follow, like, subscribe, thumb, star,
all the stuff, all the positive stuff, not the negative stuff. Never the negative stuff.
I don't even know what that negative stuff is. It probably will give you some sort of disease. Don't do it.
Yeah, you'll probably get stage 3 diarrhea. Just don't do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want you to do that. Just all the positive stuff. And while you're doing the positive, what I want you to do is I want you to get a copy of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children and Final Fantasy 12 and 13. I want you to put them on a table in a vacuum sealed room and spray them with fart spray and go get them.
Go get them, I guess.
Only if you're a pervert.
Why are we doing that?
for all the preverts out there.
Do they play any different? Is this how you unlock DLC? I don't know what's happening, Fee.
Oh, it's just how I feel about them.
Ew. I'm gonna end the show before it gets worse. Bye.
Bye.